in a return to form, specifically the form I was in uh, a couple weeks ago, I'm going to, real quick, as quick as possible, just hit a bunch of buttons on my screen. And then as soon as I've done that, we'll get started. I think the goal for today is what? The goal for today is to thread graphics. Oh, I haven't started the script yet. Oh, sorry. I'll start the script in just a second as well. Um, the thing about that though is that I think I'm gonna change the frame rate. No, I'll just start the script now. No, I'm gonna change the frame rate and then I'm gonna start the script. I'm done clicking buttons though. That's the good news, I guess. So let's get something more interesting on the screen. Something more interesting, right? Anything. I just have to close a few windows. Okay. And now, so yeah, we can switch over to screen cam. And yeah, the one thing because like, if I started the script, I'd want to restart it real soon after making this one quick change. I just wanted to check what is the anim cooldown right now is 0.25, and I think I wanted to put it to 0.2 for various reasons. Hey, Yakumas, how's it going? Welcome. Things are going well so far today. We are just getting started. The thing is, yeah, so the reason I haven't started the script yet is because I want to change the anim cooldown, but this has ramifications on the event timing, actually. So I just want to make sure that how am I choosing the event timing at this point? Let me double check. It might be that this is actually fine. I can just change the anim cooldown and the event timing will get updated. Okay, transition window, event cooldown. Yeah, how does transition window calculated? There might be. Wait, what is this 480 business? Oh yeah. Okay, this 480 business. This is what needs to change. 480 plus event cooldown. No, it's actually going to be. Yeah, we need to make this a value because we were just roughing this in before, and but if I'm going to be changing, especially if I'm going to be changing the anim cooldown, then I have to sort of. Yeah, we'll see the new animations in just a second. They're like the new graphics are like like the new art is like fully implemented, but we're going to be working more on art today because we have even more to do. So yeah, we are over that one hurdle, and so the game is running at a higher frame rate than before. In fact, I think I'm actually going to make it run even slightly faster. Is like the change that I'm making now. I'm not certain that this will be a permanent change, but something will. And so I'm doing this for starters. So the thing that I realized is that I broadcast at 30 frames per second. And so if the game runs at 40 frames per second, that doesn't actually line up well, because like 30 is not divisible by 4. So 30 is divisible by 5. So I'm thinking I might bump it up to 5 frames per second. Not by drawing new art, but just literally by making it run at a faster clip. So we'll see how that looks in just a second. And then, right, so this 480 business, where do we define transition window? Transition window is, yeah, so it's time plus 4. Oh, yeah, no, it's not actually. It's, right, so this 480 has to change. What we need to do is we need to say, what will it be? 480. So, right, so it used to be 16 minutes. It used to take 16 minutes to fully transition. Hold on, what was the math behind that? Because we kind of have to change that math in order to get this on track. I did switch over to screen cam. Just wasn't sure if I'd remembered. Nullcore, hey, how you been? Welcome. We're just doing some quick morning math, and then we will get things started proper. So, sorry, I'm just gonna run this real quick. Not because I care about the event type counts right now, but because it was weirding me out that the code was like shifted all the way to the side of the screen. So there we go. That's better. I just wanted to open this output window. Okay, so yeah, the 16 minutes came from so it was 1920. There are 1920 clicks for the background frame to make a full cycle. And there are still that many. Okay, so previously the background clicked at 2 pixels per frame, and there were 2 frames per second, so it was 4 clicks per second. So, or 4 pixels per second. And what is it doing now, though? Now it's doing 5 pixels per second. So it's basically just so. I mean, I could just go about this the other way. It's actually just like 16 times 4 divided by 5. So the end result should be 12.8. I'm just trying to remember how I came up with 16 in the first place. I guess like, yeah, so 1920 divided by 4. That's how many seconds. This is how many seconds it would take. Oh, is this 8? Is this 8 minutes divided by 60? Is this 8 minutes? Okay, that's what it was. Yeah. Okay, so now right, so now it's 1920 divided by 5 because there are 5 clicks per second. And that, so then if we divide this by 60 seconds, then it's 6.4. Yeah, so it takes 6.4 minutes for half of it. Okay, so so to calculate this value that we want, this 480, what used to be 480, it'll be G width. Oh, so yeah, so trans offset equals wait, trans window. Yeah, no, so I guess I'll call it like trans duration equals graphics width times anim cooldown being the 0.2 or divided by 5 phrase, and then divided by, no, just that, it's just graphics width divided by or times anim cooldown. Yeah. And that used to evaluate to 480, but now it's going to automatically evaluate to this other value instead. How long is the event timing? Because 1920 divided by 4 was 480. 1920 divided by 5 is 384, but the length of the event itself is was it where do we find that? Oh, it might be lower down. Event duration. Oh wait, is anim cooldown even defined up where I was using it? Yeah, it is. Okay, anim cooldown. All right. Oh yeah, I should move this. Let's move this value up here. Okay, yeah. So so the event, because like, okay, so the event duration is still like only 210. So it's not. I just wanted to make sure that the events weren't like longer than the transition lengths, because that could get weird. Yeah, all right, so I'm about to restart the title, I think. Oh yeah, I just need to so now that I've replaced this 480, I just need to, or like now I've made a value to use instead of just arbitrarily the number 480. I have to go through and replace the instances of 480, which, wait, what? Oh, why did it select all of that? Not all of that, just that. Which fortunately I just noticed appears like here sneakily as 470, so it's actually going to be trans duration minus 10 minus event duration. But most of the other references to 480, I think that was the only secret reference to 480. Yeah, transition window. This reference to 480 is actually a reference to transition window. Environment frame. That's different. Transition window. Yeah, once again, it'll be transition duration plus event cooldown. And yeah, once again, it'll be transition duration. Yeah. Okay, no more references to 480 in this document. Were there any other references to 470? I'm just like slightly paranoid. No, okay. Alright, so now I can restart the game, and I think it'll work. I mean, I always hope that it works when it's time to start the game. but we can actually like take a look at what is up with stuff. So run, yeah, let's kick it off. So Nulcor, if you haven't seen SideQuest recently, uh, it's probably a little different than you remember it. We just did an art update this week, so uh, I don't know what it's gonna do. It might turn out okay. It might look weird. Yeah, look at that. That's okay. Yeah. So this is SideQuest now. This is SideQuest's new life. All right, so I'm just moving that off screen a little bit, and now let's get to the main thing that we want to do today. All right, so yeah, so I was watching back the video yesterday of like what is what like the new graphics look like. I was like just checking out, you know, I was just like, because like right now I can see it, but I'm also like distracted by other things, so like I didn't really have a chance to like really just soak it in. Um, uh, you can get your wish, Yakimus. Um, so then yeah, so it was nice to see it. It was nice to see it because it kind of confirmed a few of the things that I suspected about what I want to do with the game next. And I also noticed the frame rate thing, how the frame rate was alternating. I think the frame rate should, like, I didn't actually change the frame rate right now, but it should just be smoother because there should be sorry for making the screen look all weird. Okay, the right, because like now the game is running at a frame rate that's compatible, or like I don't know, that like it divides evenly with the frame rate of the stream. So um, yeah, the thing that I want to do today is thread graphics. I've talked about like threading graphics and threading data reading, and I had to do one of those because I'm pretty sure data reading is responsible for the graphical hang. Oh, actually, you know what? I mean, just real quick, it did occur to me that there's one possible foible that could be causing that graphical glitch that would not be related to data reading. And I don't know if that's going to be the case, but I think I'm going to check real quick. If I All right, so initgm, yeah, no, it's if I dot append. Oh no, dot append. No, that wouldn't actually make sense. I was thinking if I was doing something with a schedule, I could accidentally like insert the animation at the wrong point in the schedule, and if the animation just got delayed. No, that wouldn't explain it because like when no, that wouldn't explain it because like when that happens, like it literally like everything gets suspended. So it must just be literally like hung, like just literally just like not even going for it. So I think I'm gonna get rid of the delayed. I'm gonna replace the delayed frame uh, print thing because I'll replace it with something else instead. So yeah, basically just something to check. Oh yeah, what would I do? Oh, I can put it in like stream cooldown. Yeah, there's get data stream, streamy data streamy whatever that okay. Sorry, I'll stop talking. I'll just do it. So yeah, the delayed frame, right? Because this print is not going to become relevant, or it's not going to be relevant anymore once I thread the the animation, because it'll be on a different thread, and it probably like presumably it won't get hung up when the rest of the script gets hung up. Presumably the rest of the script can still get hung up. So yeah. Oh shoot! You know what I just remembered is there was one more value that I didn't change. There's one more value that I didn't balance. Shoot. So I'll have to restart the script at some point because the other value that I have to balance is where is it? It's pool points pool or something. It's something pool, not GM points pool. Whoops. It's like the other points pool. Event points pool. Yeah, event points pool. Right. Okay, so it's 0.2. I need to increase this to 0.25, which I forgot to do. You know, I should just make this even higher. No, 0.25 is fine. Yeah. Okay. Oh, this event type 4 business, I can get rid of that. The type 4 print, I can get rid of that because we fixed that bug yesterday as well. So type 4, let's get rid of this. All right. And then, oh yeah, so I got rid of the delayed frame print, right? I got rid of that. So, right, so in its place, I'm going to do something slightly different. So I'm just going to add in a value for, oh no, I don't have to add in a new value. I can just use this a very similar comparative statement for the stream data. Stream data being located here. No, here, stream data. Okay. Right, so before we do the appending, sorting stuff, blah, blah, blah. Right, so it's basically the same thing. Anim cooldown, stream, so yeah, we're basically doing like pretty much the exact same thing except with stream data instead. So if do now plus stream data cooldown is less than frame time and stream data cooldown is, oh, we don't actually need this term anymore because anim cooldown I would toy with sometimes and make it do weird things, but this time we don't have to do that. Print delayed frame, yeah, that's fine. Do now and frame time, yeah. Yeah, that's all. That's all. Right, because, man, I say I'm just going to thread animation, but that's going to be so, I'm like just going to thread graphics. It's going to be so involved. It's going to break so many things. Like, so many things are going to go wrong. Oh, that's the other thing. So, right, I shouldn't be running this version of the script. I should be running I should be running like a separate version of the script. So, I might save this and then work on a separate copy of Journey because, hey, congratulations to whoever leveled up. I might want to. Oh, is that you, Nelcor? Right. So the reason I was thinking I'd want to. Oh, sorry. I spaced it on that event. I should have helped I should have helped win that event, but I'm bad at this game apparently. Actually, no. You know what? I'm gonna take this as an opportunity to restart the script because we just had an event and so I'm gonna cool down the script real quick. I made that change, which is important, and so that I don't have to work in an alternate version of the script, I'm going to save this current version of the script. I'm going to copy it, and then I'll run the game, so we can play an alternate version of the script because I'm going to be doing so much graphical testing that I'm have to be constantly like restarting whatever script I'm working on. I'm going to have to be constantly restarting it, and so I don't want to be constantly interfering with the game. So we'll interfere with it once right now, and then get it into a state where so Journey stable. I'll replace Journey stable with what we have here, and that way we can play Journey stable while I destabilize the main version and like constantly do the testing and the restarting and the running and the whatnot and the business and the hey and the woo. No, sorry. Sorry, that got a little out of hand. Okay, so no, this is the new Journey stable, and so we'll rerun that in just a second, or we'll run that in just a second. So yeah, so for starters, I'm gonna because I'm gonna be hacking at this script today, I'm gonna make this like not the original. Original isn't really the right term for it. It's basically like primary. Like this, I don't want this to be the primary script. I want the this stable version to be the primary script. Hey, Ashinxi and Zero, welcome. Check out the banner. Oh, you got a banner. All right, hold on. Wait, let me just do this thing real quick, and then we'll have to look at that. We'll have to. It'll be legally obligated. Hey, Wimpy, Wimpy, Wimpy. I don't think that's true, Wimpy, Wimpy, Wimpy. I mean, it could be. Like, other people, let me know if it's true, but, like, it's actually pretty well synced the last time I checked. And I checked just right before I started streaming today, so I'd be really surprised if it was out of sync. I'm not saying it couldn't be. I'm just saying I'd be really surprised if it was, so. It seems also likely that it would be on your end. Oh, it is? Alright, well, I guess I don't care then. Yeah, so if it's fine for some people and not fine for other people, I don't know. Like, there's no correct value in that case, right? If it's out of sync for some people but in sync for others, there's, like, I can make it in sync with other people, but then it'd be out of sync for the other people. So, like, yeah, like I said, I don't care. What was it? It's, I don't know why I keep forgetting it. It's Speedrun's Vacation. Because it doesn't have B. Oh my gosh! Oh wow, that's awesome! Oh man, that's deluxe. No, the reason I can never remember the URL is because it doesn't have beach house in the URL. But oh, this is fantastic. I think the lake monster or the sea monster really adds a lot of visual interest to it in a really great way. That is that's fantastic. Oh, that's the old one? What? Well, I just loaded the site new, so I don't see why it would have loaded the old version. Oh. Nice. Heck, I like the old one too. But you're right, that is adorable. um so I especially like that you kept the Mega Man launching beach balls. Oh, okay, okay, okay. So it does actually. So yours, okay, cool. Yeah, I was gonna say like the old one's good. Like, okay, there you go. I hadn't even seen that one yet though. So, they're both top notch. um, all right. I don't care. I really don't care. Stop talking. Nothing personal, but just stop talking. um, okay. The right. So threading graphics is something important that anyone cares about. Um, in contrast to what we've been talking about previously. All right. So I'll run the stable version of the script, and that should work for today. And right, so now we can hack at it and not have to we can hack at it and not have to worry about like being so thoroughly disruptive. So oh sorry, I'm just putting in chat commands. Okay. All right. Okay, sorry. Thank you, Nilkar. Yeah, so threading the graphics. All right, so easy to say, so much more fun to actually like go about implementing. Let's see what we can do. So, oh, oh, when iron journey stable, I wonder if it does the rename log thing. I mean, I guess it's not a huge deal, but like I have like the log files set up to get saved and get renamed so that I don't accidentally like stomp over the old one when I start writing the new one. Oh, but it looks like yeah, it doesn't do that. It'd be nice if it did. I'm not worried about it right now, but just something to keep in mind. Okay. Excuse me. So let me yeah, I think I'm just gonna basically like start by just like ripping out the anim stuff and like putting it in a new location, and then I mean like I'll try and get it to work in the first place, but like a lot of this process is actually just gonna be like seeing what works in the first place and then trying it again, or like you know like setting up something that we can test, running it, and like no, I mean I could just so okay. I guess what I'm trying to say is that the animation system is really big. It's like a lot of it's like a really sizable chunk of the script. Here, let's mark it out. In fact, let's so the top of the anim is here. This is where we start processing animation, and it includes everything down to oh, all right. I guess that's not so much. It's kind of a lot though. It's like I don't know. It feels like a lot. All right, I'm just gonna cut it out. I'm just literally just gonna cut it out for now. I'm gonna start a. So I'll put it like right below process events, I guess. Oh, actually no. I guess technically, yeah. I'll just put it below process events because like the thread that like initiates it happening. So let's see. Define what? Uh, I don't know, like run graphics or something. Uh, oh wait, do I have to put all the Pygame stuff on this thread? I think I have to put all the Pygame stuff on this thread. Maybe it is already. Maybe I'm doing that already. But if I'm not, I'll have to check. All right, so I can unindent this one by one click. Or no, can I? Actually, I might just like kind of like repeat the structure that we had before in this new location. So actually, before I do that, let me. Oh, I'm not using the schedule anymore, so that's one thing that can definitely change. Yeah, how does this actually start? What is the first step here? When we're running graphics, yeah, I think we'll just use like I think we'll use like an anim time, like we do before. So, so anim, so like anim time. So yeah, so actually we're gonna be checking if anim time is less than or so. No, this will be like basically this will be like while true, because this is just a loop that'll just like run forever. If anim time is less than time dot time, then this is the case where we'll actually do like the graphics and stuff. So let's I guess we can unindent this a little bit. Shift tab and yeah, so right, so before this, I guess yeah, so anim time I don't think is a thing yet, or it might be an old thing, but it needs to become a different thing. No, it's just not even a thing. Okay, so anim time, right, because we got rid of it when we switched to the schedule. So anim time, oh yeah, the NPCs in the background. I just remembered. There was we just redid the art for those yesterday, and there's one thing. Sorry, this is just a quick diversion. There's one thing that we didn't do as part of the conversion process is that I usually fade those out just ever so slightly. So what was it backgrounds, village? Yeah, thank you for reminding me of that, Nulcor. So it was yeah, so it was these items here. I'm just gonna back them up in case I don't like the effect and I have to change it. So so I'm just gonna change this to BKU, or like I'll just call it like full color, so I remember like what this means, like what these other versions are. Hey, congratulations! Was that you again, Nalcor, leveling up? Way to go! Good job. You are good at game. Okay, yes, because then, yeah, so the thing that I want to do is that the game, I won't restart the script or anything, but like, there's just something that I meant to do, and so I'll do it. I'll do it now, and it'll be ready for the next time. It's basically just like, because these characters are in the background, I'm just gonna like fade them out slightly. So the hue and saturation, they'll just be slightly less saturated and slightly less light, I guess. Like that's typically what happens to things in the background. How does that look? That might be slightly too desaturated. Oh no, you know what I should have actually done is instead of the saturation, I should have done the contrast. Yeah. So actually, yeah. So instead of desaturating them, I think I'm actually just gonna lighten up the contrast slightly. Yeah, and then maybe slightly less brightness. No, the brightness is fine how it was. Maybe slightly less contrast, slightly less saturation. So not as desaturated as it was before, but just like a little less contrast. And it'd be really nice if brightness, contrast, hue, and saturation were all on the same panel, so I didn't have to jump back and forth between them. All right, so let's not decrease the lightness. Let's just not desaturate them as much as we had there. Yeah, just because like right now they like usually things like that are in the foreground pop more than things that are in the background, and because I hadn't applied these like I did this to the original version of the villagers in the background, but since I hadn't done it to this version, then yeah, they just like yeah, just a little too like it's a pretty subtle change that we're applying here. So it's not going to be like uh, it's going to be barely noticeable, but just like it's one of those like light aesthetic things that I prefer it this way. So uh, so do all right. So let's oh, did I not save this one? Save. Uh, Actually, did I not save this one either? What the heck? Seriously? All right. Uh, Actually, sorry, I'm just gonna double check that I applied it correctly. Just I make dumb mistakes. I make really dumb mistakes a lot of the time. So I just want to make sure that it looks like the same treatment for all of them. I think we got it. Yeah, that's the same treatment. Okay, just checking. Just checking. All right, and now back to what we were doing. So anim time when we start. So anim time equals frame. Oh no, frame time doesn't exist in this context. So anim time equals time dot time, and then anim. Oh yeah. So then when this does evaluate, then we'll say anim time plus equals anim cooldown. I'm just gonna use global anim cooldown. Anim cooldown because I like having it defined where it is. Like if I moved the definition, the location of the definition somewhere in if I change the location of the definition, it'd take me a little longer to find it when I try and find it. So, all right, so that was the easy part. I guess let's just keep stepping through. So if next adventure coin, oh yeah, next adventure coin, yeah. So like a lot of these things, like I had to find them elsewhere, but some of these things I like the things that I never tune, like these things I can just put here instead. I don't have to. I don't have to preserve these things. So like so the difference will basically be like for the things that I do tune elsewhere, I'll just like I'll make them global so that I can keep them in that convenient location. And for the other things like that don't matter, I can just yeah. Okay, so parade, yeah, parade. Oh, yeah, parade is not going to be global anymore. Parade because we don't actually have to reference parade outside of here. Actually, all these cues. Oh no, these cues will be global because those cues are how the game tells the graphics to render a player. But once we've put them in the queue, then the parade itself can be handled entirely with the graphics. The parade is the list that represents the players who are on screen at any given time. So, for example, all the characters that you see right now, that's the current state of the parade. And whenever someone leaves the screen in that direction, sorry, it's mirrored for me, so I always forget which direction to point. And when they leave the screen in that direction, they get removed from the parade, and when they enter right before they enter the screen in this direction, they get added on. So yeah. So right, so the queues, DQ, DQ. What is DQ? Oh, the karma queue. Yeah, karma queue. Okay, yeah. So DQ, LQ, AQ, JQ, and PQ. Actually, PQ I don't think has to be external. PQ can just be on the graphics thread. So global DQ, global LQ, global. Actually, I might even have to change how these things work, these queues. For now, I'm just gonna like start porting them over, but I might need to refactor them too. It'll just be easier to refactor them when they're working than when they're like still a mess. So JQ, global JQ, and PQ. Yeah, PQ we can just define here instead. So PQ equals an empty list. Then I could also unify the queues, but I don't care about that. Okay, yeah. So the definition of PQ we can change. Like we don't need it. We don't need it up here anymore. Because PQ is just so like right. So the queues that we have, uh, they regulate like who walks across the screen at what times. Because like we use the name tags to display game information, like leveling up, or like not necessarily game tags, well the name tags, but like yeah, kind of too. So like leveling up, gaining experience, like these are things that like can happen to a player, and when they happen, we want to convey that using the name tags. And the So we'll want to get that player to walk across the screen in order so that we can show their name tag. And so we use the queues as kind of like a priority system of like who needs to walk across the screen at what time. And then the PQ is just like when there's not no one in the queues, we just like say anybody who wants to walk across the screen. So yeah. So all right. So Karma queue. Oh, player dictionary. Player dictionary. How are we gonna handle this? I guess. Yeah. Okay. So we still so the player dictionary that has to stay public, but we'll only read from it. No, I think we're gonna. I think this is what I was saying with the refactoring of the player queues. I think actually we're not gonna read the player dictionary in here, which is a little bit crazy. Um, because we read from the player dictionary in here so much that what we're gonna do instead is when we queue up the player, we're going to pass through the data that we would need uh, in order to handle all of this. So uh, look at all these references to the player dictionary. I mean, it's especially thick here, but then it's thick again down where we like render the player. This is all environmental rendering, but then yeah, when we render the player again, like we do all this stuff too. But yeah, I don't want to. I like just to for thread safety. I don't want to be like referencing this stuff, uh, like in a way that like could be hazardous. So yeah, I think I think what am I gonna basically like just take a full copy of? I mean, it doesn't have to be literally like a full copy of the player, but I might just do that. I might just do that. So now the queue is like a full. Maybe a. Huh. What if I Yeah, what if I all right, cuz like how on earth do I do this? I don't if okay, so players can be in multiple queues at the same time. Oh, and how does the P maybe maybe the PQ does have to be external. Because if the PQ is internal, then how does how does it access the player dictionary? Um, so maybe is graphics. Maybe I should just split the player dictionary in half. Because like the game half of the player dictionary doesn't need to keep track of like what the players look like, and the graphics half of the player dictionary doesn't have to keep track of like all of the game related stats, which is not actually true. The graphics half does have to care about like stuff like levels and experience and stuff. Okay, so I'll split the player dictionary into like the into two chunks, and then all I have to do is make a system to relay changes between the two. So the graphics half of the player dictionary. Oh, you know what? Yeah, no, this is fine. I mean, there were like a few little things that I was so like yeah. So the end result is that the graphics are gonna be slightly. I mean, like yeah, like the graphics are just something you kind of have to be, I guess, careful about what they render because, or I'll have to be careful about what the graphics render because since we're passing that data between threads now, like the data will always be like stale by like a few milliseconds at any given time. So I'll just have to make sure like if there's any like important junctures. I mean, there's stream delay, so like the graphics are on a 20-second delay anyways. So uh, all right. Yeah, let's try this. So just we're just gonna have a separate player dictionary here. I'm not gonna call it the player dictionary. Or actually, I guess I could. Oh, that's confusing though. No, I'll call it like the like G player dictionary or something like that. So yeah, G player uh, dictionary equals a dictionary, and then how do we how do we handle this? Basically, like whenever so the game will tell us who needs to show up on screen sometimes. Okay, yeah, this will work fine. Oh, weird. Okay, no, this is huh. Yeah, it was just occurring to me that it's just occurring to me that the the what was it like the I don't know the way I initially planned on setting it up, or just like conceived setting it up in my head, was to like just have it so that players get added on like the basis of necessity. But what that would cause is that like no one would actually join. Like right now, anyone joins the game as soon as they join the channel. But like if I changed it that way, the if I changed it to the way I was just thinking, like the players would only actually show up when they took an action. No, it wouldn't even be that. It'd be only once they gained experience, which is silly, and I don't want that to be the case. So no, I'll do the rest of it. It'll be like the G player dictionary and the player dictionary will be nearly identical in terms of their like player lists. And I'll just come up with like a whole bunch of secret messages that we can pass between the threads to so that uh, they can stay uh, in sync. Um, yeah. Okay. So uh, um, play nice. Okay. Yeah. Oh gosh, G player dictionary. So yeah. So I guess I have to set up the messaging system now, basically. So like I'll just say so like graphics message. Oh no, I can't declare it in here. I have to declare it out of here, and then so global graphics messages. Yeah, so graphics messages. Let's declare this up here because now on now in the case of important events, we'll have to be updating these things as well. So I'll put it like the place where these. I'll put it with these queues. Graphics messages equals an empty list. I'll have to come up with a format for the graphics messages. Actually, I could make like a. I could like define the format because it's probably going to be a little bit weird. Nah, it's going to be very varied too. So like, there's not a oh Douse, yeah. Uh, um, uh, uh, I can't think of anything witty right now. Douse. There we go. Okay, so let's let's do what then? Uh, yeah. So we have our global messages. So I'll send the messages through first, and then I'll go back to the graphics thread and actually like pick up the messages. Um, so let's let's say uh, uh, let's say the important yeah. So actually, this will be fairly straightforward because it's any place that a player would join a queue is a place where we have to send a message. Um, oh wait, are the messages just the queues themselves? No, no. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe I don't actually have need a separate list of messages to send through because like every yeah, everything else would be associated with one of these. So the only difference really, yeah. So never mind, forget graphics messages. The only thing that's actually going to change is actually, am I going to need graphics messages for other things later? Not really. Yeah, no, this is fine. Yeah, so the one thing that'll have to change is I'm gonna double up the JQ. The JQ is gonna be used right now. It's only used for when players like when players enter the channel, their character will show up on screen, but their character's name tag doesn't actually show up until they actually like say something in chat. Um, and so right now we're using the JQ for not the instance when they enter the channel, but for the instance when they say something to show up in chat. I could just use a separate like. Maybe I will use. Maybe I will keep graphics messages because like I was gonna just use the JQ for like when they enter the channel as well, and just use like different. I mean, the alternative would just be to replace all of the Qs with graphics messages instead. So, nah, I like it this way then. All right, let's yeah, no, this is good. We'll use graphics messages for the other stuff. So so the queues will actually cover most of it because like just putting a player in the queue is enough of indication for like most. Wait. Uh, that's not true anymore. Yeah, no, it used to be that like okay, the way the queues work now, all we do is we put the player's name in the queue, and when we put the player's name in the queue, it's clear what it means for that player to be in that queue. If they're in the level queue, it means they leveled up, etc., etc. And we don't actually pass through that information because we can always reference that information directly out of the player dictionary. So uh, the weird. So I definitely need graphics messages because I'll need to all the data that would be implicit from the from like these various queues. I'll need to be sending that through the graphics messages uh, instead. Okay, so yeah, no, graphics messages is definitely very important. And like I said, it's in the places that we use the queues that will most likely be needing these messages, except in the case of the join and depart. Uh, so I'll instrument that first. So graphics messages. So like when the player, so add player. When we add a player, uh, add a player. Uh, when we add a player, if name not in player dictionary, this is the case where we're adding in a new adventure. So we're going to add the adventure to the player dictionary, and then we'll say graphics, or so global graphics messages, global graphics messages, and then we'll say graphics messages, dot append. I don't know, like add player, uh, and then the player's name. I think is all that we really need to know. No, we need to know way more than that. Oh, so we shouldn't do this until later in the thing because we have to send when we add the player. We need to send through basically all the information that we load in, not literally all of it, but like mostly all of it. So, where is this conditional? So if name not in player dictionary. Yeah, we do a lot in this case. So the other thing that we'll do here is okay. So we do basically everything that we need to. What else do we need to do here, though? I guess so. We'll need to pass through the player's name. We need to pass through their level. I guess level is like one of the other important things. So like, what is it really? Name, level. So name, level. Level percentage as an integer. Well, actually, hold on. Let's do this in an order that makes sense. So name, level. So what's the level experience? What's the value that represents like their current? Oh yeah, it's not. It's not just name and level. It is name, but it's player dictionary index name dot level. Oops. Like so. Um, uh, and then yeah, what's the what do we call the value that that represents how far into the current level we are? Like level experience, I think it is. Yeah, level experience. So so we need not just the level, but the level experience, the level percentage as an integer. Oh, so level experience, level percentage. Is it LPTCI or is it LPT int? It's one of these. LPTC int. LPCT int. I can talk. Uh, Wait, where am I? Oh yeah, level percentage, int, and then what else? Level percentage, level percentage is an int, or level experience, level percentage is an integer. I think that's all for now, because there's no gains. Like we can another thing that we show in the name tag is the gains, like how much experience we gained, and that we only show in the case that we gained experience. So when the player first joins the game, they're not. When the player first joins the game, they're not. They don't have any experience gained. They literally just showed up. So if I mean, it's possible by the time we evaluate this message, the player has gained experience. So in that case, we'll want to. Yeah, I guess in that case we'll want to. Yeah, like whenever we get one of these messages, we kind of have to go through and look for other messages for the same player, which is slightly awkward. It kind of makes me wish. Oh, I could use a dictionary. Graphics messages could be a dictionary based on players. But who has control over the graphics? Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. Graphics messages could be per player. Right, and that would be right. So I can't do that for the graphics queue because that would be like the queue kind of has to happen in a specific order, but graphics messages. Is that going to make things better though? I mean, it'd be kind of nice because then it'd be easy to like pluck the entries out at the appropriate times, but like how am I evaluating these messages? Like it I think with the dictionary, like it tends to get evaluated in like alphabetical order or something, which is slightly awkward. Um, I mean, basically, I want to do as little as possible on the graphics thread. I just want to like any sort of like computation that's not related to graphics on the graphics thread. It'd be better if I could do that elsewhere. So yeah, maybe I should do it this way, or maybe I should do it as a graphics messages as a dictionary instead. I think it'd be slightly less computation that way. Uh, so okay, let's say graphics. So let's go to the definition of graphics messages, uh, and we'll say yeah. So this will be a dictionary instead. Uh, right. So instead of appending like add player blah blah blah, we'll say we'll say uh, graphics messages. Oh, so in this is the case where oh hmm, we can't necessarily assume. Wait a second. I think we can't necessarily assume the presence or absence of players on this list though. Like the entries that represent players on this list. I think the sorry, excuse me. Um, uh, um, because like okay, so I'm tempted to assume that like when the player leaves the game that we can remove them from this list. Like we don't have to keep track of their presence in the graphics messages. Like we can just forget all the rest of the graphics messages, which could be true. It could be that the main thread gets to choose when things enter or leave the graphics queue, the graphics messages list. And when a player leaves, we just abandon all of their previous messages. Oh, but can we really? Yeah. Yeah, we can remove entries from this. We can remove entries from the dictionary because the other. Oh, can we? Oh, yikes. Yeah, I might not want to do that. Oh, maybe I shouldn't be doing this as a dictionary. Because it just occurred to me like either it's a dictionary that never empties, like it just accumulates and accumulates and accumulates, which I might be okay, but I don't like things that tend to just like accumulate forever because like nothing is like literally infinite. Um, so the right, all right. Like I said, this is gonna be an interesting process. All right, so it'll still be global graphics messages, but I will I'll keep it as a list for now. Maybe if I like have an epiphany where I like figure out like the magical way that I can make it a dictionary, it'll be advantageous to do so. I'm trying to like decrease processing power in the graphics thread, like computation time in the graphics thread. That's not related specifically to graphics, but I don't want to do it at the risk of unsafe thread behaviors. Okay, excuse me. All right, so append add player name, level experience, and level percentage. I think that's. Oh no, we have to pass through not just the player's name, but the player's name. Oh yeah. Okay, so actually one of the graphics messages that we have to send a player's name because we can change the player's name. Right. So it's not actually name like this. It's it's player dictionary dot name. Oh, but we Oh, but actually no, we have to send both through because right, because we'll want to still use the name, like the name as a like the actual name as or like the account name as the index in the other player dictionary, the G player dictionary. But we'll want to keep track of the name because we'll want to display the name on screen as appropriate. And it's like player dictionary dot name, right? That's what we yeah. Uh, yeah, pretty sure that's how that works. Like I said, I'll want to test a lot of this stuff. Uh, but yeah, for now, let's move on because I think this is all the information that we need from when a player enters. We say add player, and then we give this amount of information. There might be more things that we. Oh, bonuses. Bonuses actually. Yeah, shoot. No, I'm. I need to send through the karma and the bonuses too. Duh. Okay, so yeah, player dictionary bonuses and karma as well. So we'll do level. We'll do name, level, bonuses, karma, uh, karma. Oh wait, yeah, yeah. Oh, it's not just karma. It's like karma history and like karma. Wait, what is it? Is it karma history? Is that what it is? Karma history, karma total, and karma history. Yeah, all time karma and karma history. Yeah. All right. Do. Oh, and so yeah, we'll want to send graphics messages through. How is this gonna work? um. Okay. Yeah. No. I know how this is gonna work. Right. Okay. So I was just like, how are we gonna process all of this stuff in the graphics thread? But no, this should be fine. This should work out fine. Uh, uh, um, so let's do what? Right. So the karma stuff. So we have the bonuses. All-time karma. Hey, congratulations to whoever leveled up. All-time karma and karma history was the other one. Yeah. So the nice thing about using the list instead of the dictionary is that, yeah, you know what? I was worried about like parsing through it, but actually an advantage of it is that we'll always be going through it in chronological order. So no matter what point we're at in terms of evaluating through this dictionary, um, we'll be at a point that made sense at one time in the history of the game. Because all these messages are coming in through the main thread. I'm pretty sure. So the messages themselves will be chronological. Okay. So right. Okay. Am I forgetting anything else? Privileges. I mean, technically, I think I use privileges for like troll face. So I guess technically, yeah. Banned. So I just have to pass through if they're banned or not. And then if they get banned, I'll have to pass a message to the graphics. So all-time karma, karma history. This is like, whatever. I'm gonna put these things actually before the level, I guess. Just like, I don't know. This is a weird list of data. Like this is why I was thinking like I might want to formalize some of this data, like a graphics message into like a formal thing, but nah. Actually, can I just make up variables? Nah, I don't want to do that. This is fine. So banned, bonuses. Yeah, so right after bonuses. Wait, bonuses? I don't think that's supposed to be bonuses. Wait, where's bonus? Is bonuses on here twice? Yeah, bonuses is on here twice for some reason. I don't think that's intentional. Did I forget something? So we have level experience, level percentage. We have their band, we have their karma history, we have their all-time karma, we have their bonuses, we have their name. What else are we loading in? Like level is basically all we do with like the experience and the level and stuff. Privileges, we got that. Bonuses, we got that. Stable, covered. Players, what is this one? Experience. Okay, I think that covers it. So maybe I'll do the other half of the graphics message setup now, just while I remember what this order is. So actually, I'll copy and paste it so I remember at least a little bit. So copy. Yeah. So right. So yeah. So we'll do this like if anim time thing. If it's time to render the graphics, then like that's good, and we'll do that. And then in the same loop, we'll just start knocking through the this graphics messages queue. So we'll say if the length of graphics messages is greater than 0, then we will say next G message. Actually, I'll just call it like ng message. Equals graphics messages dot pop index 0. Yeah, and then excuse me. Sorry. So we'll pop the top one off, and then so then we'll say if ng message index 0 equals add player, then this is the and so I'll want to organize these messages in order so that like it goes from like most common to least common. So for example, add experience is probably going to be like the most common player action. Adding play leveling up might, no, adding player might be more common than leveling up, probably. Okay. So add oh, actually, yeah, when we pass through, I was gonna say when we pass through experience gains, we could probably do that like as one giant chunk, but I actually don't want to. I want the graphics processing to be like as smooth as possible. So like I'll actually want to avoid like things that are like too big and too chunky. Because basically like the point of like we do have to do some computation on the graphics thread, some non-graphics computation on the graphics thread, just in terms of like passing these, keeping the basically like keeping the game world in sync. Um, but we're gonna do it like in the little gaps between when we're rendering the graphics. We're just gonna hopefully it'll be like a light enough data stream that we'll be able to just like pick at it and like chip at it and keep up to date with it in the downtime between rendering frames. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. All right. So I just slapped this down here so I remembered what the order of these things are. So, yeah. So I guess we'll. So this is the case where we want to say. What do we want to say? I mean, I guess technically we want to say like, we want to check if this player is already in the player dictionary. Cause like, no, I mean like, hypothetically, if these things are all chronological, then there's not a situation where the player would be in the. There's not a situation where we would be trying to add a player who is already in the player dictionary. But so I'll just say like if name in G player dictionary, like if that's already the case, then like I'll just print duplicate or like overwriting G player entry or something, because like I want to be cognizant of whether that is happening, because hypothetically I think it shouldn't be happening. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I can assume that it won't happen, and so sorry, I have to look up what the acronym is. I have to look it up. Okay, that's all right. I'm glad I did because I'm gonna rinse it. Nothing personal, but like, um, that's not appropriate. Um, all right, so what we're gonna do. Excuse me. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna say G player dictionary index name equals. Oh yeah, I guess we need like the concept of like players graphics or something, like because we have like the concept of we have the concept of like an adventurer that we use like in some contexts. The player dictionary is populated with like all this business, but like we don't need all of this information. Like all we actually need is like the information that we're sending through. So instead of like keeping like all of this stuff, I'm gonna keep like a lightened version of this, basically. So I'll say class like add graphics or something. And I'll say, so yeah, what's the important stuff? Name is important. So actually I'll just copy it over for starters and then get rid of the stuff that I don't need. Because this will also be a good exercise in like recalling uh, what will be necessary or not. So expa, for example, that's like what we're changing. Actually, so we'll be able to get rid of like these a like gain expa gain a, like we can actually get rid of those from the original adventure, because like this graphics adventure graphics thing, um, is the the sorry, I just oh, whoops. Sorry, Nelcor. I didn't mean to time you out. Sorry. That was a misclick. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. You're good. I just I don't know. I want to make sure I just like saw, yeah. Why did I don't know. Um I'm just like paranoid that like people are getting banned from the channel when they're not supposed to be. Cuz like I don't know. I mean, I guess I have a lot of moderators considering I never really want people to get banned from the channel. Um I mean, like the reason I have so many moderators is cuz I want it so that if someone does something truly egregious that we have backup there. But it's like rare that players ever do it. That people players that people ever actually do that. So I'm like whenever it happens, like I'm like paranoid about it. I'm like, wait, and so I have to, I don't know, and I'm like making sure that like I don't know. All right. So position. Wait, what was position? Oh, name tag position. Yeah. So these are actually things that I can get rid of from the. I can get rid of from the. Yeah. So I might as well start doing this. Yeah, I might as well start doing this. So yeah. So position and name tag position I can get rid of from the adventure. Gain A I can get rid of from both. Uh, gain. Actually, gain I can just get rid of from. Yeah, gain I can just get rid of from adventure altogether. Uh, so I have to keep position and position name tag. Q. Oh, Q. Yeah, I guess I can keep Q the same here. I don't need to. I don't need to worry about the adventure Q value though. Name tag. Yeah, again, all this stuff like is not part of the adventure anymore. Like everything name tag related is now part of the graphics rendering. Bonuses. No, I do have to keep track of that with the adventure. Bonuses index. That one I don't though. That one I can. That can just be part of the graphics. So Q. I do need to keep track of Q here. I do need to keep track of name tag stuff, bonuses, uh, bonuses. Yeah, right. I keep that. Bonuses index. Yeah, I do keep that here. So level, I do keep level. Level A is not a thing in either context anymore. Uh, wow, I thought I assumed I was going to be cutting things from adventure graphics, but most of the things I'm cutting are from like the adventures themselves, which is fun. Um, uh, oh hey, Jesse Freeman, thank you very much for hosting. Welcome, welcome everyone. We're working on SideQuest, the game that we have running along the bottom of the screen. I actually just changed the I've been tinkering with the graphics all week, and right now I'm trying to thread the graphics, so that way I'm doing that for a couple of reasons. The processing, like there are some points in the script where we process like chunks of data that like don't uh, so basically I either had to I had to thread either the graphics or a lot of the processing that we do with pertaining to the game events, because they like I like having those on the same thread, like one was supposed to be really smooth and the other was a little bit chunky. And so I'm threading the graphics for a number of reasons. The first, the biggest of which is the one that we just said, and then like yeah, and it's tangled though. So we're going through like right now. Literally, we're just chopping up the definition of the adventure. We're kind of like splitting it into like two different versions, like the adventure game data side and the adventure graphics side. So yeah, right. So level experience and level up. Level up? Yeah. Ooh. Level up. Yeah, no, level up. We do still keep track of that on the adventure because like the level up queue we don't just use for the visuals. We want to keep it on the on both sides actually because we we do use it for wait, where's level up? Level up is here. Oh wait, hold on. Oh, I skipped over level percentage integer. Oh, yeah, we don't have to keep track of level percentage integer on the adventure anymore, and we don't have to keep track of level percentage integer A on either. Sorry, I missed that one. Uh, Although it just occurred to me, like the way I'm sending the message through, I'm referencing level percentage integer. I'm referencing the value I just deleted, so I'll want to accommodate that in another manner. But I should do that now before I forget. So level percentage integer. Let's go to where that is managed. Because basically, yeah, we've been calculating it before. We've been calculating on the main thread, right? But it's now that so yeah, so right, so I'm just gonna say here like just level percentage integer equals 0, and so right, we don't need to we're still calculating it on this thread, but we never actually like there's no point in like keeping it on this thread. We just send it over to the other thread immediately. And so we don't have to keep it as like a persistent value. We can just like we can just calculate it whenever. Yeah. Right, and so we'll want to do that. This is where we load the players in, which was the one that I just said like, oh, so actually we're not 100% done accommodating because in the level message, I know it's a bad habit to like have these lines run off the screen. I know it's a bad habit. So sorry, I guess. um, so, sorry. Right. So this is like when we add players. So that's the first time. That's one place that we calculate it. The other place that we calculate it though is when we're adding experience to a player. So we'll want to say again we'll want to say like level percentage integer equals 0, and then yeah, or actually no, we can just slap it right to this value. We don't. Yeah, right. This is basically how we initialize it. So level percentage integer blah blah, and then again. So I haven't put in the graphics message here, the part where we actually send this data over to the graphics thread, but it will be ready to do that when that happens. It just creeped me out that like I was referencing a value that didn't exist anymore. Like that's generally not a good thing that you want to do. This is where we're actually this is in the graphics thread. So yeah, the other place that it gets referenced is in the graphics thread, and so this is the part that we'll like we have to do a whole big sweep through the graphics thread. So yeah, that's the can of worms that we haven't opened yet, but we will get to. All right, so I think that's good. So now let's go back to our definitions. Where's the yeah, so wait, did I delete it from both definitions of the? Oh yeah. No, I did it backwards. Right. We get rid of level percentage int from the adventure, and we get rid of level percent from the adventure graphics, because the game only cares about like what is literally the level percentage, but the graphics only ever care how do we display the level percentage, and we display the level percentage as an integer. There's no like decimal places or anything. So are the actions wildcard sensitive? For instance, collecting is not going to go through if collect is the action. So the intended case there is collecting with an apostrophe. Because if you it's you so like right it is literal, or it is like, hey, that's the new follower sound. Sorry, I'll finish answering that question in a second. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for following. So it is. What was I going to say about the? Yeah, right. So it takes exactly the phrase that you input. So like collecting does not equal collect. However, if you do, you can it only looks for alpha. It only looks for strings of characters, like the alphabet characters. So if you break it with anything that's not in the alphabet, like apostrophe is not in the alphabet, it's like a special punctuation character or something. Um, then it 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 it'll recognize just the first half, like everything up to the apostrophe, as the action tag, and then everything after it will, like we can see it because we have eyes and we can perceive visual stimuli through our eyes. But then the game will recognize it accordingly. Okay, so that sorry, I'm just gonna switch to face cam real quick. Um, while I am while I'm in face cam, I'll click on away mode for just a second because so I don't like being boring while I'm streaming. I only do it in I try and do it as sparingly as possible. But for when I have to do it, that's when I came up with what I came up with uh, away mode. Away mode, take it away. So sorry, just 1 second. Um, hmm, uh, so yeah, right. I was so I'll be right back in just a second. um, okay. Uh, right. So let's continue on now. Sorry about that. Brief diversion. So yeah, so like we said, level and level percentage, integer are both important for graphics, but so level experience, yeah, that is important. Level up is important, right? Level up, yeah, that's the one that we left off on because level up is important to both. Part is I think only part is only relevant to the adventure because part is how we keep track of whether we should have the oh part wait hold on actually part might be more relevant to the graphics. Hold on. Yeah, part has to do with oops. My clipboard had your name on it. Um, part yeah. Now that I think about it, part is actually how we handle right. So players can join the game and players can leave the game, but if players can leave the game at any time. But what if their character's on screen when they leave the game? I don't just make the character blip out of existence. I actually have them leave the screen. They actually finish their walk to the edge of the screen. But what we do is we tag the player as part, like as the like we cue them to depart when they get to the end of the screen. And so I guess that actually has more to do with the graphics. So I guess the game side can stay like ambivalent to part as long as we're telling the graphic side when a player enters or leaves. Uh, then yeah, I don't know. The rest is like gravy. So I just wanted to make sure there are two scenarios where we don't depart a player immediately is if they're on screen or if they're participating in an event. Um, so I just want to make sure that I had it right that this is the on screen one and not the in event thing. So oh yeah, quit dictionary. Okay, quit dictionary we use for players who try to depart during an event. We keep them in the game until the end of the event. Part is how we yeah. So part is okay. Part is in fact the one that we keep for the graphics, and we can ditch it for the wow. Look how light this look at how late the adventure data is getting. I was expecting the adventure to stay like super populated with like data and stuff, and maybe it's just the order. Maybe like we're doing the graphics half first, and like the rest of this bottom half will like stay for the other half. But yeah, effective experience. That one we don't care about for. Excuse me, that one we don't care about for the graphics because we never show effective experience on screen. The only experience we show on screen is the level experience. So part we keep acted. Oops, not duplicate. In paint programs, Control D is deselect, and I always think deselect will Control D will like unhighlight the stuff that I've highlighted here. But oh wow, look at all this. Look at all this chat that I've not been paying attention to. So so did you? All right. Oh yeah, sorry, Nullcore, I missed your departure, but it was lovely to have you here, and I hope to see you again sometime, maybe in a few months. But you're probably gone already. All right. So yeah, acted. What is acted? What do I use acted for? Acted. Oh, acted is the difference between whether when we show their name tag, do we show their experience or not? Because we only show their experience once they've acted. So that is relevant to graphics. It's actually not relevant. It's actually not relevant to the original adventure. It's only relevant to the graphics adventure, graphics half. Lurking. Again, only only actually relevant to the. Oh no, lurking. I'm gonna Actually no. You know what? I'm gonna keep track of acted on both sides, because technically acted only acted just means like has this adventure participated in an event, and therefore have they intentionally gained experience, and should we show their experience on screen? We're gonna keep track of that on both threads because like it only really pertains to the graphics. But if we don't keep track of it on both threads, then we'll have to send the acted message every time the player acts. This way we can screen it. We can screen it such that we only have to send that message the one time that it actually is pertinent, or not the one time, but like the time only when it's actually pertinent. Okay. So yeah, so we'll keep both part and acted and lurking, or excuse me, we'll keep both acted and lurking. Banned. Yay. No, we don't have to keep track of it. No, we do. No, actually, no, we do have to keep track of that on both sides. What am I saying? Because when you're banned, you get banned from both the game systems, and you don't actually get banned from the graphics, but your character shows up with a troll face instead of their usual face. And so we do keep. It is relevant to graphics for that reason. Passive points, no, that is not relevant to graphics. Frame. Is that like frame of animation? Yeah, that is relevant to graphics. And then I guess it's not relevant to other stuff. Whoops, again. I'm trying to find. Here, I'm going to put something different on my clipboard so I can stop putting your name. I can stop accidentally pasting your name into text. Frame. No, these are layer frames for the environment. Where do we use frames in the context of the player? Yeah, when they join the. Yeah, okay. Wait, what is this Modulo 2 business? Oh, interesting. Because this is actually Modulo 4 now. I mean, it's not a huge difference, but it should technically be like that. Oh yeah. It's funny. It's a subtle difference, but like now that I know it's that way when I look at the graphics in the game, yep. That was causing it so that like every other adventure, if you look at the screen right now, like every adventure like alternates. They don't have the exact same frame of animation, but every other adventure has the same frame of animation. So if you look at adventures that are spaced apart with one adventure in between them, their legs are like in the exact same position like at all times, which is kind of funny. That's because we used to have fewer frames of animation, and so we used to do modulo 2 to choose which frame of animation, but no, we should be doing a modulo 4, just for a little more visual variety. Oh, and then actually the other thing, though, is I think I'm actually going to do... Oh, no, negative modulo is not a happy thing. So, actually, I could just do 4 minus... Or no, I could do 3 minus... 3 minus this number. Yeah, because I think I was thinking about it, and I kind of want that to go backwards instead, because I don't want it to, like... I don't want the animations to look like a weird, like, cycle or anything. Do I ever use Unreal Engine 4? I've never used Unreal Engine 4 before. I learned a little bit about it once, but I've never actually used it, like, hands-on. So, okay, so yeah, so that's what Frame deals with, and again, this is actually not relevant to the original adventure definition. It's only relevant to the graphics, adventure graphics, etc., etc. Passive points, leader, yeah, these are pertinent to adventure, not to graphics. Although I might keep leader on graphics, because like one thing I said is that like I did kind of want to add like a visual distinction to. Does my Python allow for 3D characters? I'm sure there's Python libraries for 3D characters. I'm that was actually something that we talked about recently. Like I considered redoing the graphics actually to 3D. Like I didn't consider it for very long, because what I quickly realized is like for this game I actually would rather them be 2D. But yeah, no, I mean I thought about doing 3D graphics. If I did 3D, I don't know that I would do it in Python though. Well, I don't know. Actually, if I did if I remade this project in 3D, I probably wouldn't do it in Python. But then again, that's not necessarily a related thing. It's just that if I redid this project from scratch, there are like a lot of things I would change probably. But actually, no, like that's just a hypothetical, because I literally evaluated all those things just recently. Like, should I restart? Like, should I, what crazy changes should I make to the project? And what I realized is that actually all I really wanted to change is the stuff that I'm changing right now. The stuff about like threading the graphics and stuff like that. Because everything else I'm actually happy with. So, it's not that they're perfect. It's just that like I don't really, like I think they're good enough, right? I don't feel like a urgent need to like retool them. Okay, so where were we? We're at like leader, passive points, right? We just did passive points. Leader. Yeah, I was saying I was gonna keep leader. Karma we keep. No, karma we don't need, and karma is just for graphics. Karma Q. How am I using karma Q? I think I might only be using it for graphics. Yeah. So karma Q I can get rid of for... Wait. Yeah, I literally only use it in the graphics. Oh, no. I set it... Oh, yeah, no, I set it outside. But I can replace setting it out here with... Yeah, I do set it outside of the graphics thread, but I can replace setting it outside of the graphics thread with just sending it the message. Yeah. So I can get rid of it from the definition of the adventure. I can just, yeah, I can... So, right, so the... So for the definition of the adventure, we'll keep it for the graphical definition of the graphics, adventure graphics, but not for the adventure itself. All-time karma, 30-day karma. Oh, 30-day karma? Really? And session karma? No, these are calculated values. These are not like preserved values. So these are actually just for, if I recall correctly, these are actually just for graphics purposes. Because what we keep track of is the karma list. We keep track of this list of, or no, we keep track of. We keep track of the karma history, and then from the karma history we calculate 30-day karma and session karma, and then from those values we calculate the actual karma list. Let me just double check that, because I think that's true. Oh wait, where else are we referencing it? 30-day karma? What is this? What is this? Oh, this is when we add a player. Oh, we do calculate it up front. Interesting. So yeah, actually, I guess it couldn't hurt to. I mean, if we calculate it up front, it doesn't hurt to pass it through. I might not keep track of it though. Here, I might. Nah, I guess I might as well. I don't. I'm not trying to scrimp on this thread, anyways. Like, this is the thread for calculation. So like, as much calculation as I actually can keep on this thread is actually going to be advantageous. So, right. So actually, all I really have to change is that when we pass through the all-time karma, I should pass through the session karma and 30-day karma as well. So it's not just all-time karma. Again, I know these super long line lengths are probably annoying to some people, but I'm here for you. I got your back. I don't know. No, I'm the problem. I guess I'll just say if you can tough it out, then we won't have to stare at it forever. Okay, so yeah, so 30-day karma and session karma I'll pass through. And since I'm changing the definition of this, I'm going to change the little reminder that I have for myself down in the graphics thread. We have, yeah, it's just like, this isn't actually like the line of code right here. I should probably comment it out because it's not like code, but this is just like me pasting this here so I remember what is the format of this data that comes through. So yeah, I will comment it out. So yeah, this is just like the format of that data that comes through, and I'll have to process that eventually once I get back to handling that other stuff. But for now, I need to finish the definition of adventure graphics as opposed to adventure. So yeah, so I will keep all-time, 30-day, and session karma on both of these lists. Actually, no, that's silly. I can. Sorry, Oh, can I make your name hover over a character with wings? Are you saying do you want wings for your character? The wings are actually part of the karma system that I was talking about. The karma system is the karma system is I just added it in as a thank you. Technically my only source of income right now is donations. I haven't like monetized like anything, like not any of the games that I've made or like basically anything else in my life right now. So as a thank you to the players or to the people who donate, I keep track of karma and so you'll notice like some characters have wings, some characters have like this glowing aura about them, and yeah, that is in fact what that is about. Uh, so, yeah, yeah. Moving on. Yeah, no. So the thing that occurred to me that is a little bit silly is that I don't have to keep track of this data on this thread because whenever I'm dealing with this data, I'm recalculating this data. So what I can change is like I never actually reference this data. Like whenever or like I only reference this data when I'm dealing with the wait a second. I only reference this data for the sake of graphics, but when I reference this data for the sake of graphics, I've already recalculated it. Recalculated it. No. I only recalculate it sometimes. Okay, so yeah, so so like I'm not going to change super much of everything, but the one thing I am going to change is that like this doesn't have to be so like yeah, so session karma and 30-day karma, I don't have to keep it around, right? It's just dead weight on this half of the thing. So like it doesn't change the calculation. It's not going to be any like the calculations aren't going to be any heavier or like blah blah blah. Literally all that's going to change is that so if I go session karma equals 0. Are these? I forget if these are floats or integers. I'll say equals 0 for now. Yeah, and then right. So then so then these places where we're referencing it, we'll just we won't reference it as an aspect of the player. We'll just reference it as these like these values that we calculate, and excuse me. So then when we send this data to the other thread, we don't. It doesn't have to be like an aspect of the player. It can just be like this value that we calculated. It's like, hey, here's this number you asked for. And yeah, so I will keep all-time karma. Should I keep all-time karma? I think session karma and 30-day karma are a little bit different. So I think I will just keep all-time karma. Oh, but again, this is like something that we only calculate or reference. Like we don't reference it in any other scenario. Yeah. So I can do kind of the same thing. Again. Yes. Okay. So I'll do this. I'll do kind of the same thing there. So where's it start? Oh wait, we reference it. No, right, yeah. It's all-time karma plus. Oh, all-time karma plus equals float time. Float line 1. Actually, this one I guess I do keep around. Yeah, this one I increment. Yeah, okay, so this one I will keep. Right, I guess that's the difference. Is because this one never goes. This one we never recalculate. We only add to. Like this one is strictly additive, so we do keep it around. That one actually makes sense to persist as data because that way we don't have to like recalculate the whole thing each time. We just okay. So that part's fine. Okay. Yeah, I mean there are other ways I could do it, but like none that like are so much better or worse than what I'm doing now. So I mean there are plenty that are worse, but none that are so much better than what I'm doing now. So right, so I did decide to get rid of 30-day and session karma from the game definition of the adventure. Oh, do I have other skills other than Python? Python's not actually a skill of mine necessarily. I just like a few months ago, or like when I started this project, I was just like, I'm just gonna do this project in Python for no particular reason. And so I just started working in Python. So Python's not a skill of mine. Like I've been working in game development for a while, and I've done very many things in game development, and now I've done Python, but like, so I only have other skills than Python. I guess is the answer to your question. All right, all-time karma. Yeah, and so we'll keep track of this on both threads, and then so karma history again, keeping track on both threads. Actually, yeah, no, both threads. Yeah, present. Present. Yikes. I know these values are important. I just don't remember what they're important about. I could name these a little more descriptively. I started this project back when I was like very, very brief about how I would name things, and I've started getting a little more verbose, but I'm not there yet. So what are we using present for? Oh, present. Present is another way that we deal with like whether players have departed the game. What is present keeping track of? Like when do we set present? Wait, if a player is queued to depart, if there's an event on, we add them to the quit dictionary. Otherwise, oh, yeah. No, I remember what present is for. Present has to do with whether they're playing remotely through Twitter or whether they're here in chat. So, how do I use it? Because I mean, I know the difference is that like we don't show name tags for players playing remotely because we show name tags primarily so that people who are watching the stream can see which character is theirs. For players who are playing remotely, that's not important, so we don't really bother with it. What are the other rules about it, though? So yeah, so if a player's only playing through... If a player leaves the IRC channel, we set present to false. We set presence to true when we add a player through IRC, yeah. So I I should be keeping track of this, right? I guess I should, yeah. Ugh. This one's a little bit schmumpy. This one's like a little I don't know. Yeah, what should I do about this? Maybe maybe I'll only keep track of this on the present. Yeah, so far I've only looked at where we're setting it. What do we actually where do we ever reference it? Uh Wait, if the Twitter half. Okay, so we handle it for linking accounts, and that's the data side. So we do it for linking accounts, and then okay, it's just for linking accounts. That's all we use it for, is just linking accounts. So I'm gonna say I'm only gonna keep track of that on the I'm only gonna keep track of that on the data side. And if necessary, on the data side, I'll make it so that we don't set players acted equals true. Or wait, no. We don't set players lurking equals false if they're not present, which we might already be doing. Actually, that part might be automatic. Yeah, no, present. Yeah, right. So right, the whole thing about not showing name tags, like we didn't have to do anything different in order to get that. That was free because we only set player to not be lurking if they participate through IRC. No, we were just using that for the account linking thing because we needed a separate value that literally distinguished between the two because there are players who can be present in IRC but are still lurking, and right, that's what that was for. And so we can keep that entirely on the data thread. So do I have experience making MMORPGs? Would I consider working on any other projects? Do you mean other projects than MMORPGs, or other projects than the one I'm working on presently? Like, I work on a lot of projects, so I don't know what you mean by other projects, because I'm not pinned down to any project. I am currently working on one project, because I don't work on multiple projects at the same time, but like 2 weeks ago, we had like a game jam where we made a completely other game, and like, I don't know. I don't understand. I guess I don't understand why you are asking that question, which is why I don't have a very straightforward answer to it. But do I have any experience making MMORPGs? Um, I mean, this game is the most MMORPG that I've ever made. Like, technically, this game is online. Like, hypothetically, any number of players can play this game. Um, and it's a little lighter on the RPG and a little heavier on the like adventure strategy, like fun stuff. But if I don't know, it's like you wouldn't look at this and think, oh, that's an MMORPG, or like you wouldn't like cluster it with like other games that like typically fall in the MMORPG genre. But like, I think it technically fits. You know, if yeah, I don't know. Okay, let's continue on. So present. Yeah, so present we're keeping. Uh, do, 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 do. Present we're keeping on the data side. We're ditching it on the graphics side. Fade time. Fade time we can ditch on the graphics side because that's actually the other side of present is if you're playing through IRC, you're present. If you're playing through Twitter, like if you're playing through Twitch, you're present. If you're playing through Twitter, you have a fade time because you're not present, but you don't just like show up and then disappear immediately. You show up and then you stick around for a little while, but then you fade eventually. Um, and we can handle that on all the data side, and then all the graphic side needs to know is when that player departs. Um, all right, so linked name, yeah, all of this stuff we don't have to care about for graphics because this stuff never actually shows up. We're just keeping track of that data so energy we do keep track of we keep track of energy on both sides. We keep track of energy on both sides. We could keep track of it just on. Oh yeah. Hmm. We could maybe maybe we'll keep track of energy on the so energy is like you'll notice some players like have stars above their head. That's like players with the high energy levels have the stars, and those are the players who are like gaining experience the fastest. Those are the players who are like really killing it, and yeah, we have so there's the gold star, there's the silver star, and then there's a lot of players that just don't even have stars. So we can keep track of the energy value on the game thread, and then let's like for the other thread, let's just keep track of energy level. So then when we like, I don't know, intermittently we can like when the player, no, just intermittently at times we'll have to adjust the energy level of players. And it's a little awkward. I guess, oh no, you know what? We'll keep track of energy level on both sides. So energy level equals 0. Actually, how do we keep track of energy level? Yeah, we'll keep track of energy level on both sides, and we'll only update the graphics. We'll only message the graphics if the energy level actually changes. Because if the energy level doesn't change, then there's no point in like raising an alarm. So energy level equals 0. So yeah, how do we keep track of it? Oh, current energy. Wait, we already do that. Current energy. Oops. All right. So yeah, never mind. Right. So current energy. That is exactly what I was describing. So we'll only so when current energy changes, we'll send a message to the other thread, and then on this thread we only have to keep track of current energy. Okay. Voice we don't care about entirely, or we entirely don't care about. And karma history, I did keep this one, right? Yeah, for the ones here, oh yeah, voice. So I kept karma history, I kept karma, but I ditched voice here, and then up here, I'm pretty sure I ditched karma, right? Yeah, there's no more karma as a list. So, yeah, okay. All right, cool. We now have our new definitions. They're each about like half the size that the other one had been. So that worked out about okay. The graphics is a little bit longer. I was not necessarily expecting that to be the case, but I mean, graphics is really complicated. So, oh yeah, okay, yeah. What are you working on? Death Becomes. I'm happy to answer questions if you. I mean, like yeah, I don't know literally everything, so like I can't answer literally every question, but I can answer a lot of questions. So and yeah, if you're curious, please feel free to ask, and I'm happy to impart whatever. If I can't get you an answer, I might be able to at least like help you, like send you in a helpful direction or something. I don't know. Let's find out. Okay, so I was doing all that because I'm setting up the graphics thread to handle the first message that we're sending to it, which is add player. Add player. Yeah. So here we are. So, so if name in right, so okay, so right, oh yeah, this is why we added adventure graphics because we didn't have a definition for what we're adding to the GPlayer dictionary. So but now we do, and so now we can say GPlayer index name. Basically, we can just like populate all of these values that we have here. So GPlayer name dot. What is it? GPlayer name dot name. Oops. Dot name equals. So yeah. So this is the. These are these MG. Oh, I thought it said mag for a second there, but no. MG message. Index 1 is the index 2 is the name. Oh, name. We can't even just reference it by name. Right. Okay. So no, name in this context is actually ng message index 1. So, right. So anytime that I would reference name, I should be instead referencing ng message 1. 0 is the type of message. 1 is the name. And then all the rest of the data points will be the various data points. So, all right. So now let's do this like a million more times. So like copy, paste, 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 paste. I probably don't need all of those, but I'll do most of them. So right, so name bonuses is the next one. So bonuses equals ng message index 3. Uh, player dictionary name. So all-time karma. All-time karma is message 4. 30-day karma is message 5. I'm going to line wrap these because I'm highly inconsistent in my style. Okay, so we just did 30-day karma. 30-day karma, so session karma is ng message 6. Karma history is ng message 7. Almost there. Banned is ng message 8. Level is ng message what is that? Level message 9. Level experience is ng message 10. And lastly, level percentage integer is ng message 11. Okay. Yeah. So is that all we have to do for add player? I guess so, because we're just initializing the player. So so let's let's do what? We will sorry. I'm just getting distracted. We will do what? We will yeah, I guess we'll just handle the next message now. That's really all we have to do. I guess that's all we have to do. I mean, I might be missing something, but I don't know. We'll find out. All right, so add player. Oh, so how about like remove player, right? Because another thing that we can do is the player can join the channel and the player can leave the channel. So if ng message index 0 equals remove player. The text version of remove player. Then we'll do something else. To be determined. Oh yeah, I can get rid of that, I think. So yeah, let's go. One thing I was thinking of doing was like formalizing how we remove players, and I might want to do that. Because as it is now, the way that I handle removing players is a little bit awkward. It's a little just all over the place. So yeah, is that something I want to do now? So let's look at the player dictionary dot pop. Where are the places that I pop players out? So yeah, so like all of these places are like I guess they're only like, I guess there aren't that many places that we have to handle it. So yeah, no, this is probably fine. I'll just kick that can down the road a little further. Right, so in the cases where hey, that is the new follower noise. Death Becomes, welcome to the channel. Thank you very much for following. And yeah, so right. So not in all of these cases will we have to send the departure message. Only in the cases that no, yeah, in pretty much all these cases we will have to send the departure message. Yeah. So it's basically like so what is it? It's graphics messages. Graphics messages dot append. It's always append because we're keeping it in chronological order, so we're always putting it at the end. Oh wait, in the other graphics messages, dot append, did I remember to not pass it through as like append takes a single. Append takes a single. Yeah, I put these as separate terms, but it takes a single term, which is a list of all of these terms, which I had forgotten to do before. I should do that. And all right, so append. I think the only relevant information is just the player's name. We just say remove player. Remove player. Oh, you know what though? Wait, am I inside the graphics? I'm inside graphics rendering right now. So this one is different. This one is different because this is